Paul Rusesabagina, the man who once described himself as an ordinary man and has since 2004 become a world celebrity due to his risky and courageous rescue operation during the 1994 genocide, better shown in the film Hotel Rwanda, considers the prevailing atmosphere in Rwanda as a return to the pre-colonial feudal system. He was alluding to the Gacaca system, the grassroots popular courts aiming to speed up genocide trials.
Gacaca is a total disaster. It is a total disaster. As I described it, the Gacaca is a code which is laid and prepared, everything done by people who do not know how to read or write, by people who have no introduction to law. Working for others, what does it mean? It means that you are becoming you are bringing the feudality back. It means that people are going back to square zero before colonization. So this is where people were working, planting in a garden where they will never harvest, planting what they will never eat, what they will never give to their children. Rwandans are now hiring Rwandans. A Rwandan who is supposed to have been a victim in the genocide, sometimes appoint a young man because he's strong and as someone who killed his family, and this young man is sentenced to 30 years imprisonment and he will be working for that guy for another 20 years. And this guy, once he doesn't have any job, he hired his neighbor's services. So what can we call that? This is the former Obuhake that is back.
Rusesabagina told me this on Saturday 25th April after a 45-minute lecture at the Hague University, or Hague School, where about 500 people listened to his evaluation of the efforts and achievements so far made by the regime of President Paul Kagame and the Rwandese Patriotic Front. He was one of the two keynote speakers at the yearly Africa Day event organized by the Everett Family Foundation. The following are short excerpts from Rusesabagina's lecture.
Today, I have been asked or requested to tell how the Rwandan society recovered during the past 15 years. This is a very interesting question indeed. It is true that efforts have been made by both the Rwandan government and the international community to help the country recover from the wounds left behind by the genocide. It goes without saying that a lot has been done during the past 15 years. The objective of this day is not to make a comprehensive report or evaluation, but it would consist of knowing where we stand today, 15 years after the disaster of a genocide. Are potential causes of such atrocities already removed, or are they likely to be removed? I will indicate the main challenges that both the Rwandan government and the international community need to meet in order to avoid the repetition of the same stupidities, or rather to correct what is so far going wrong. Let me first look at reconciliation. The Rwandan government and some of its sponsors who do not want to face truthful facts would assert that reconciliation is being reached. Some of their arguments would be no ethnic mention in the present identity cards, which is also, in a way, it is also a truth. Inside the country, you no longer talk about Hutus and Tutsis because those two words have become taboos, as if words are the ones that killed Rwandans, but we just say Rwandans. There is no justice justice in Rwanda today, there has been no will to bring about justice. And this is the main reason why I dare say that reconciliation is far from being attained. As long as a true and fair justice is not done, reconciliation will remain but a wishful thinking. As you have known, Rwanda is #1 in the exporting coltan. Rwanda ranks #1 in the region, or the region of Africa, in exporting diamonds, gold, cobalt, tin, and so on. As far as I know, Rwanda does not produce any of those minerals, but yet we do export them. How do we get them? Through the bloody war that has been going on in the Congo.
Rusesabagina also gave his understanding of the removal of French from the list of official languages of Rwanda. There are discriminatory motives behind it, he says. A tiny English-speaking minority, namely former exiles from Uganda, is emerging as an elite, forcing the rest who schooled and worked all their lives in French to go back to school before standing chances for well-paid jobs on the labor market. In my interview with him, I came back to two main points that he did not address or that he slightly addressed. For instance, in the lecture, he told the mostly Western audience that their taxes were encouraging Rwanda's war-like attitudes in the region.
You told the audience that the money they are giving to Rwanda in the UK, in Belgium, in US is financing war. Are you calling officially those countries to simply stop their aid to Rwanda?
You got in. My message is more than clear. Stopping aid does not mean NGOs. What I mean by stopping aid is participating in the annual budget of African nations, because I believe, in my personality, I believe that in a country which is involved in killing civilians like the Rwandan army in the Congo, it's foreign aid, participating in a budget, helping the government to achieve its objectives. Its aid, all the aids are supposed to be submitted, some conditioned to human rights rules and regulations, which is not the case with Rwanda. And this is the mistake that the international community did since 1994, when they submitted and felt guilty, and then immediately sent money without giving any conditions.
He also unambiguously answered the question whether he is eyeing the presidential seat in the 2010 polls.
It is simply a pure lie. I'm not going to run for the presidency, but I have heard some people who said that they were ready to go and run for the presidency. So I'm not running at all. I have never told anyone that I'm campaigning. I think I'm innocent in all of these questions, in the whole question.
I should say that the heavily bodyguarded Rusesabagina has ceased to be an ordinary man, as he seems to have turned into an uncompromising human rights activist with a vigilant eye and an unstoppable mouth on hot political and humanitarian issues, not only in the Great Lakes region, but also in Darfur.